Sa kaguluhan nung nakaraang taon, sa Mayo pa lamang nagkaroon na ng briefer tungkol sa aresto ni Presidente Duterte. Hindi tama yung sinasabi na walang kinalaman ng Pilipinas dito. Ilang beses tinatanggi ng ating mga opisyal, sana narito sila para ipaliwanag. Subalit nag-press release po ang liwaliwanag nung DOJ Assistant Secretary Mico Clavano, May 8 ang kanyang mga press release, at sa kalagitnaan ng kaguluhan tungkol sa PI, yung ating People's Initiative, sa kaguluhan ng Davao at Maisog rallies, ay biglang nagkaroon ng bagong briefer na ginagawa ng DOJ. Ito ay unang-una for the potential arrest of President Duterte, ikalawa ang pagbabalik ng Pilipinas sa ICC. Maliwanag na last year pa, May of 2024, nag-umpisa na ito. At sabi rito, aware naman tayo na yung policy ay hindi papasukin ng ICC. Pero posible naman mag-iba. So, yun ang nakakaabala dito. Mayo pa lang, pinaplano na yata ito. At kahit sinasabi ng ating kagalang-galang Secretary of Justice, sana narito siya, sabi niya, labas-masok ang dayuhan sa Pilipinas. Libo-libo sila, daan-libo pa ang pumapasok na waring di natin nalalaman. Ngunit, kilala ng ating Bureau of Immigration ang ilang ICC, mga tauhan na klaro na pumasok dito. Unang-una, maliwanag, si Maya Destura Bracken. Dumating noong October 4, 2024. Siya ay galing US at interpreter siya noong ICC. Maliwanag po yan. At maliwanag din na dumating siya sa Pilipinas. Ikalawa, andito din yung protection expert para ipagtanggol ang mga testigo. Ang pangalan, William Rosato, dumating sa Pilipinas October 15, 2024. Mahabang pagpaplano to. Nakita din natin na may dumating din na isa pang protection expert at iba pang mga dumating na si Amir John Kasam. Dumating October 20. At yung investigador, dumating din sa October 24. Siya yung huli. Ang huling ICC na nasa record ko, October 24, Glenn Roderick Thomas Cala. Siya naman yung investigador at hindi ko alam kung kumpleto na ito dahil meron pang binabanggit na Robin Croft na abogado naman nila at may binabanggit din sa kanilang mga usapin na bagong team ng tatlo parating daw ng 19 October. Hindi ko na nakuha yung pangalan pero maliwanag na merong mga dumating na ICC at nagpakilala bilang tauhan talaga ng ICC na may kanya-kanyang espesyalidad. May protection expert, may investigador, may interpreter, may abogado. Klaro po yun at itinira, hindi natin sa sigurado ang binabanggit at sinulat nila sa kanilang immigration papers, Midas Hotel, Raffles Hotel, Diamond Hotel. Humingi rin sila ng protection detail and transport sa Pilipinas. So maliwanag na ang Pilipinas ay tumulong at talagang nagpakita ng partisipasyon. Matagal na ito, Mayo pa, tapos October pa, kaya nagtataka po tayo kung bakit tinatanggi ng ating mga opisyal na may ganito. I also received information na yung ICC personnel pala may agenda, may mga impormasyon galing sa administrasyon na hinihingi. Ang mga hinihingi nila sa agenda nila, unang-una bank account records June 2016 to 2019 ng isang Peter Parungo. Meron din silang mga hinihingi ng mga blotter, mga seized evidence radio transmissions sa Police Station 6 sa Batasan Hills, QC. Alalahanin natin na meron tayong bank privacy. Kaya nakakapagtaka bakit yung bank account records na kami mismo dito sa Senado hindi makuha-kuha, naibigay sa ICC. Pati na rin yung mga tactical operations ng pulis, pati na rin yung records ng East Avenue Medical Center sa lahat ng dead on arrival between July 2016 to 31, 2017, lahat ng detalye ng postmortem autopsy at mga inspeksyon. Sana ipapatanong ko to sa ating kapulisan. Sabi nga ni Senator Cayetano, hindi naman yan sakop ng executive privilege pagkat hindi naman cabinet rank. Pero wala sila rito. Bakit nila ipagkakaila ito samantalang fully recorded naman ito? Ang liwaliwanag naman ito. Huwag na tayong magbulahan. Tapos, itong agenda na sinasabing hiningi, siya rin ang lumitaw sa application for warrant ng ICC prosecutor. Sa madaling sabi, ang kaso sa ICC base sa ebidensyang binigay ng pamahalaan ng Pilipinas. I am asking these questions, I cannot help but wonder, while the administration has been claiming it did not help the ICC, why the prosecutor in his application for the warrant of arrest for PRRD cited the following documents as part of the evidence. Ito na nga, yung paulit-ulit nilang pinagmamalaki, dokumento ng PNP at ibang department, ang drug watch list maintained by the law enforcement, financial and bank records, forensic evidence na nanggaling sa PNP. Mahirap kunin itong mga katibayan na ito. Kahit mataas na opisyal, katulad ng senador, naghahagilap kami ng ganito, wala kami makuha. Paano nakuha ng ICC prosecutor kung sa mga salita at deklarasyon ng ating administrasyon ang sinabi, it will not lift a finger to help the ICC. Bakit? Verbatim. Lahat ng hiningi nila, nakarecord sa agenda, yan din ang lumitaw na katibayan para sa warrant of arrest. Even if you were to assume that there were members of the PNP who helped the ICC prosecutor in an unofficial capacity, why were these not detected by our intelligence officers? I find it very hard to believe. Malaki po ang budget sa intelligence. Tignan po natin. Ang NSC, sana nandito si Secretary Anyo. Limpak-limpak na salapi ang ginagastos ng Pilipinas sa OP, NSC, DND, AFP. Ang Philippine Army may hiwalay, Air Force may hiwalay, Navy General Headquarters. Lahat ito hindi nila nalaman. Parang naman mahirap intindihin. Totoo ba na right in front of their faces, hindi naman nila nakita lahat ito? Mahirap talaga paniwalaan. At eto pa, meron na din tayong case build-up na narinig. At andito tayo, yung case build-up ng DOJ. Kanina, nag-umpisa tayo doon sa briefer. Mayo pa lang yon. Pagkatapos ng briefer, nagkaroon ng maliwanag November 4, Department Order ng DOJ na nagtatatag ng task force to investigate, create a case build-up, and file the appropriate criminal charges. So, klaro na yun. And sana, andito yung DOJ para sabihin kung yung task force nga ba, in-interview sina Senator Laila De Lima noon, Attorney Colmenares, and Commissioner Palpalatok. Yan lang ang gusto natin malaman. As a matter of fact, may nakita tayong bago. March 6 nitong taon na to, may memo ng accomplishment report nitong case build-up na to na humihingi ng additional 90 days. Kasi ang sabi nila hindi pa daw sapat, hindi pa daw klaro, hindi maliwanag. Humihingi sila nung umpisan ng nakaraang buwan, 90 days pa sana. So sana yung DOJ i-confirm nila. There already was a legal team. In fact, there is an allegation na pati private legal team, magbabayad sila. para mag-draft ng complaint for murder against those responsible for the death of 3 nationals in the Davao prison. Kung may case build up, may draft of the complaint, why did we still have to cooperate with ICC and Interpol? I wanted to verify kung totoo nga na yung DOJ pinagtatanggol yung ICC jurisdiction in the cases before the Supreme Court. It appears that the DOJ is arguing there is no investigation or prosecution in the relevant EJK cases. But in fact, sila mismo may task force, meron ng report, may hinihingi na ng mga private lawyer, meron na ring Quadcom sa Kongreso, merong Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Ano ba naman ito? Mismo si Solicitor General talagang umatras na sa pagtatanggol ng posisyon na yan kasi ang sabi nga niya talaga namang meron ng case build-up mismo sa ilalim natin sa building na ito sa DOJ. Kaya hindi po katanggap-tanggap. At any point, kung ang ating mga kasamahan may idadagdag, pakisabi na lang po. Pero eto pa, narinig natin na mayroong Oplan pursuit. Pakita na lang na inaamin at pinagmamalaki ni General Torre. Sabi niya, hindi ito spur of the moment. Huwag kayong maniwalang spur of the moment dahil matagal ko nang pinaplano ang Operation Pursuit. Ayan. Sige. Pwede natin ipakita. Ayan. Laksan lang po yung volume. Laksan lang natin yung volume, please.
Paano yung kasi kailangan niyo po talaga siyang ilipad sa daig no matter what on that day. So paano po ibinaba sa inyo ni PNP Chief Marbil na how did he say that to you na no matter what we need to fly the former president to the Hague and we need to implement the ICC arrest warrant?
Arrest him and bring him to the Hague. Yun lang. Simple as that. Arrest him and bring him to the Hague. Sagot ko lang, sir, bigyan mo ko aeroplano. O di ayos.
And then the rest, you planned everything.
Pero matagal na yun eh. Ang plano na yan, matagal na yan. Hindi yan spur of the moment eh. Matagal na yan. And nagkataon lang na talagang yun, the opportunity arose.
Ayan, maliwanag na maliwanag. May Operation Pursuit, sabi nga ni General Torre, matagal na yan. Hindi yan spur of the moment. Inutos ni General Marbil, ang Chief PNP, and the operation was planned as early as January 2025. So hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na madalian at waring nakita ko bit-bit ni General Torre nung pumunta siya dito sa first hearing dahil pinagmamalaki nga niya na napakakapal nung plano niya. Ang Oplan Pursuit 80 pages. At maliwanag na ang PNO had prepared a secret plan, Oplan Pursuit, to detain PRRD, including scenarios of arresting him either in Manila or Davao. It also contained maps of properties of the former president, his partner, his allies, with arrows labeling the nearby streets where the PNP could access the property. Sana hihingi ako ng kopya nitong 80-page plan called Operation Pursuit. At gusto ko rin sana malaman, katulad ng sambayanan, kung kailan nag-umpisa to. Dahil obviously, itong Operation Pursuit was concocted weeks, if not months before March 11. Panay ang sabi nila, nagulantang daw sila nung dumating nung March 11 ng umaga. Pero mukhang hindi naman yata totoo to. Hindi naman yung Interpol o yung diffusion notice na dumating ng March 11 ng 3 a.m. ang nag-umpisa nitong lahat. Kundi, nung nakaraang taon pa, Mayo pa lang, klarong-klaro na.
Madam Chair, may I move that this committee issue a subpoena duces tecum to the PNP to produce that document?
Madam Chair, before you rule on that, did the cabinet secretaries also submit already the whole video kasi they said last time
Putol.
na they will submit their version of the whole video kasi I agree with Senator Bato that any piece of evidence that is not confidential or does not violate national security should be handed over so that we can be fair to them, diba? We don't want to come out with reports then sasabihin nila ay hindi yan yung nasa buong video, ay hindi yan yung nasa plano, diba? So maybe we can request them and then if they don't give it then we subpoena it. But I submit to you, Madam Chair, kung
Yes, I'm in full agreement with both our senators. And certainly, the comment that there was no plan until they received the Interpol warrant or diffusion order is highly doubtful. Pati yung New York Times, alam yung balita tungkol sa plano. Bakit tayo walang maibigay na plano sa ating komite? Pagkatapos yung complete video na hinahanap ni Senator Cayetana, tama po kayo. Hanggang
Madam
ngayon, hindi
Chair.
pa nabigay.
pero baka kasi kasama sa 80-page plan yung paghuli kay Senator Bato. So hindi talaga pwedeng ibigay muna sa atin.
Senator Bato, anong comment nyo dan?
Uh, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Magkapit-bahay tayo O sige. Ang liwaliwanag na meron talagang extensive and exhaustive plan, 80 pages. Then the administration was already anticipating the application for a warrant of arrest and the issuance thereof. It's also apparent there was some kind of communication and coordination with the ICC. It's well known that some officials of the DOJ, as well as high-placed officials from other departments and from other branches of government, already visited The Hague and perhaps even met the president of the ICC in Japan. So we are very deeply concerned about this contradiction in the claims. Kasi ang liwaliwanag na may communication and coordination na, tapos may sinasabi pang mga official channel through DOJ sa The Hague, backdoor channel. Bakit tinatago pa ng gobyerno? Tapos na to Tapos na ito, hindi na siya national security issue. How could the administration have known for weeks, if not months, in advance that the ICC will issue a warrant of arrest if, as claimed by the Secretary of Justice, the country was not communicating with the ICC? Parang hindi ka panipaniwala na gulat naman tayong lahat. So
Madam
sana yan klinaro nila. Yes, Senator Cayetano.
On your point that feel free to interject, just on the point of ongoing investigations, o may kaso ba? I was really deeply disturbed and shocked when Secretary Boying Remulla told us that lahat nung, this is my words so I will refer to the record naman sa eksakto niyang sinabi at yung terminology. But sabi niya, Senator Bato, nung huling hearing na parang lahat, and you might want to refute that if you have information, but sabi kasi niya, lahat daw nung wrongful death po yung ginamit niya, ay wala daw record, walang blatter, wala daw talaga. Tapos halimbawa may gunshot wound, tapos nakalagay cardiac arrest, di ba? I don't know if that is cardiac arrest because of, I don't know. But ang point ko lang, na-surprise at na-shock ako because when I was in the cabinet, before kami mag-explain abroad, hindi binubunot sa hangin yon. Nagmi-meeting yan, whether with the DILG or whether with the Chief PNP. I have had several meetings with Senator Bato when he was Chief PNP and I was still a senator. Kasi hindi naman ako magsasalita dito na hindi ko muna tinanong sa kanya. So, aside from yung mga ni-reveal mo na very telling details, I think we owe it to the public. Yung sinabi po ng, let me frame it this way, no? Kung pro-Duterte ka, you want accountability. Yes, but we want accountability here in the Philippines at yung tamang process. Kasi two wrongs does not make a right. If you are anti-Duterte, you also want accountability. But you also want to do it right. Because two wrongs doesn't make it correct. Meaning, kung ma-dismiss yan sa ICC o kaya mag-change ng administration, balik na naman. So, Whether you're pro or anti-Duterte, we want the rule of law. Gusto natin tama. Last point lang, Madam Chair. Yung chilling effect, di ba? So kapag yung pinag-uusapan whether yung warrant arrest sa mga cyber libel or tignan nyo po ilang taon na ba? 2016, 2025. 9 years ko nang kadebate si Senator De Lima, just like some others of us, former Senator De Lima, 9 years, di ba? 9 years na. Usually, yung usual, 30,000 yan, 16,000. So nagsasagutan kami sa issue. First time na nagdebate kami 2-3 weeks ago, ang una niyang sabi, dapat yan si Cayetano kasama sa ICC. Di ba? And then after that, naglabas sila ng redacted. And then mayroon ding iba like former Senator Tria. Marami pang susunod dyan. So may chilling effect to. Sa akin okay lang kasi sanay akong takutin di ba? Sanay naman na ganun. But ang point ko lang, Madam Chair, that's why we have to get to the bottom of this. For example, in the case of Senator Bato, kailangan alam natin pagka may lumabas, can he have his counsel of his own choice? Can he be examined by a doctor? Pwede ba siyang mag-resist kasi wala naman Philippine order? Pwede ba siyang isakay bigla sa airplano? Mabigat yan, baka ma-overloading yung airplano. No? So, dinadaan ko lang po sa biro, pero hindi biro yung ito. Let me stop with one example, ma'am. Kasi maraming progressive groups. Siyempre, dahil nga sa history kay President Duterte, I'll assume good faith sa progressive groups. Assuming na human rights activists sila, assuming na may mga napatay na extrajudicial killing, naisip ba nung progressive groups na yan na pag biglang may nakitang hukay wherever in the Philippines, kahit sabi mo yung hukay na yan ay 20, 30, 40 years na, at may 50 nakalibing doon, or 43, katulad na rin lang nung kay President Duterte. Tapos ang sabihin nung kusino man, let's say retired military or retired intelligence officer, sir, mass grave nung komunista yan. Pinatay yan during 2012. Nung pinatay yan, 2012, may ICC pa. Payag ba tayo na yung mga progressive group, pati yung mga congressmen na progressive group, ay bigla na lang kukunin, isasakay sa airplano, dadalhin sa Hague, na hindi sila makakapunta sa Philippine courts? So whatever kasi we decide here and whatever as a nation we decide, Madam Chair, is applicable to all of us. Di ba yung sinabi ni President Erap na weather lang yan? Kaya kailangan may batas. Para kahit anong weather, klaro yung karapatan mo. So let me stop there, but thank you for that intervention, Madam.